Welcome to the Pip and Pin podcast. My name is Megan Nodecker and I'm a knitwear designer from Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. You can find me on Instagram as Pip and Pin, on Ravelry as Knit Pip and Pin, and in our Ravelry group. It's October 9th today and it's freezing cold outside, which is why everything is happening right now. I don't want to turn on my fireplace, but then it'll smell like dust. We haven't turned it on yet, so then it'll smell like dust. Anyways, this is a very special episode of the podcast. I'm going to just be talking about Knit City. Knit City was last weekend in Vancouver at the P&E Forum and surrounding areas, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So I'm not going to be doing any finished objects or any knitting content per se. This isn't going to be a usual episode. I'm really just going to talk about my experience at Knit City and show you some of the things that I acquired. Just also a note, I was going to write show notes and then I didn't. So I'm going to try just to remember everything as much as I can and people's names and things like that. But I might forget stuff. I might also ramble a lot because that's also something that's gonna happen because I don't have any notes. So I'm just gonna start at the beginning and kind of try and work my way through the weekend. So I was a vendor. I was a vendor at Knit City, and I have been for every Knit City that has ever been. Katie and I have had a booth, and this year we had our own booth. And so the weeks leading up to Knit City are always a little crazy because my house is very small, and all the Pip and Pin like market stuff is kind of everywhere, and so it all gets put into my living room. So for the past like 2 weeks, my living room has just been full of Pip and Pin stuff, which is great, but now I have to like clean it up. So I think I did a pretty good job so far. It's Wednesday. I got home on Sunday night. I put most of it, well, I kind of got sick. I don't know if it happened before or after or just talking so much, like, I don't know. So on Monday, I like had this pile of stuff. I brought it all up from the car and I was gonna like drop George off at school and then, you know, just do everything right on Monday. Well, I dropped George off at school. I like make myself something to eat and I sit on the couch for a minute and I fall asleep. So I just finished putting everything away, kind of. Some of it still has to go to my mom's house and oh yeah, it's like everywhere. But maybe I should start at the beginning instead of at the end. For those of you that don't know, Knit City is a 2-day long event. Well, the marketplace is 2 days. I think this year it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think there was like 5 days of stuff. And it's a knitting thing in Vancouver, BC, so it's about an hour away from where I live. And there's tons of dyers and yarn dyers and designers and just anything knitting related you could possibly want is there. And it's put on by Knit Social, who is Fiona and Amanda, and they always do such an amazing job. And I don't know, every year just seems to get better. Like I feel like this was the best year. And I don't know, I felt like last year was really fun too, but there was kind of a vibe. And I talked to a couple of people afterwards and like I can't really put my finger on what it was. It wasn't bad, like it didn't ruin anything. There was just a bit of this like weird like what's going on. It was almost like frantic, like I don't know. And I talked to a couple other people and they kind of felt the same way. But this year just didn't have any of that, which was cool. It just kind of was, it was really good. So on Thursday, there was a bunch of events as well, and classes and things. So I'll just tell you about like what the weekend was. I didn't do all of these things because that would be crazy. So Thursday night, there was a knit night at the Waldorf Hotel, which is about, it was about a half an hour walk from the Atrium, which is the hotel that we stayed at. And it was at the Tiki Bar. They had a tiny little Tiki Bar and a restaurant, and so this knit night was at both of those places. And then on Friday is setup day, so all the vendors set up their booths and things. And the lecture is on Friday night, and I think this year's lecture was Arne and Carlos. Friday also has some workshops. Yeah, there are some workshops on Friday as well. And then Saturday is the marketplace and workshops, and then Saturday night is the pub quiz. Sunday is, again, marketplace, workshops. And then I think nothing happens on Sunday night. And then on Monday, I think there's also a couple of workshops. So it's 5 days, like the marketplace is 2 days, but it's really like there's things going on for the full 5 days. So I went out on Thursday, and because my friend Sam, who is Hand Me My Knitting, she does the Hand Me My Knitting podcast, she and I decided to go out on Thursday so that we could go to the knit night. And on our way there, we stopped at, like, my car was full of all the pip and pin stuff and everything. So we took 2 separate cars because she's vending, or she wasn't vending, but she was helping out a booth all weekend. So anyways, on Thursday, we drove out and we decided to stop at 88 Stitches. And I am including this as part of the weekend because it's important, even though it's not technically Knit City. Sweet Fiber is a dyer from Langley, which is right near Vancouver. And if you've ever been to Knit City, you would have seen her booth there. She dyes really amazing yarn. And this year she decided not to be at Knit City because it was crazy last year. Like, she had a giant booth and then a lineup all the way past her booth, and like, it was ridiculous. Like, just constant for 2 days was this giant lineup, and like, people were getting mad, and like, because she didn't bring enough yarn. It's like, she's one person. She can't do it. So anyways, she decided to skip this year, and her mom, Sue, owns 88 Stitches, which is a yarn shop in Langley, and so she did a pop-up all weekend at 88 Stitches. So Langley is on the way to Vancouver from Abbotsford, so Sam and I decided to stop in there, and that was really fun. Mostly we wanted to check out her new, she has a new yarn base, and it's sport weight, and I really enjoy sport weight. I do work a lot in fingering, and I love fingering weight. I love fingering weight, how it like drapes and feels. I don't always love how long fingering takes to knit, and like, it doesn't seem like sport is that much bigger, but it is. So we wanted to go and check out her new sport base, which is amazing. So this is at Sweet Fiber Yarns, the Pure Merino base, and it's 100% super fine merino, and it is super wash as well. And this colorway is Ever Gray, and it's this beautiful like steely blue gray loveliness, and it has that Sweet Fiber glow. It matches my hoodie and my hat. This is actually going to be a hat. I wasn't really planning on buying anything. I went to Knit City this year with no real like plan. There was a couple things that I wanted to get that have nothing to do with knitting, but I didn't really have a plan for any yarn or sweater quantities or anything like that. So when I went to the store, Sam found a yarn that she really wanted, and that was sport weight, and she was like, oh, there's no patterns in sport weight. And then she's like, well, you know, she doesn't actually talk like that. Sorry, Sam. But there's a pair, oh, you can see them, they're back there. And she really likes those socks. They're like these lace socks. And she's like, well, I really want to get this skein of sport weight, but I want to like have a plan for it. So can you design a hat with this yarn with the same motif as the socks? So that's what's going to happen. Sam convinced me that that was a good idea. And so eventually this is going to be a new design, and it's going to be a hat, a lace hat in sport weight. And it's beautiful. And it was really nice to go, because Knit City is like so busy, and especially for Melissa, it was nice to be able to go and like see her and Sue and like talk to them. And Tracy and Jody from the Grocery Girls, they were there at the same time as us, and their friend Heather, and a bunch of other people were there too. I'm so sorry if I like forget. I'm really bad with names. But it was really nice to like chat with people before the Knit City craziness. So that was kind of awesome. So after 88 Stitches, we continued on our merry way, and we went to our hotel, which was the Atrium. And I didn't actually have a room for Thursday night. I had booked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, because I thought if there was like a class or something that I wanted to do on Monday, then we would just have the hotel. They hadn't added the knit night on the Thursday yet. Like when I booked my hotel, I booked my hotel like last year already. As soon as I knew the dates of Knit City, I booked the hotel, basically. But yeah, so what was I saying? We were at, oh yeah, I didn't have a hotel room for the Thursday night. Luckily, Sam was a planner, and she booked her hotel room Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So she wasn't picking up her friend Bree, who was also helping at the Vivid booth. She wasn't picking her up until Friday, so she was like, well, why don't we go to the knit night, and then we can stay in the hotel room, and then on Friday, Katie and I would have our hotel room, and then they would have the other one. Oh yeah, and Katie came out from Hawaii, which was very exciting as well. So she came on the Friday morning, just right into Vancouver. But anyways, I'm skipping ahead. So Thursday night, we went to the knit night, and that was really fun. It's the first time they've done a knit night like that before, and I don't know what they think about it, but I thought it was a really big success. They sold out. It was super busy. It was really fun. Jody and Tracy from the Grocery Girls were there giving out door prizes, and there was a photo booth, and like there was food, except we had eaten on the way there, on our walk there was Tacofino. So we stopped in Tacofino, which if you're ever on Hastings, you should go there and get Brussels sprout tacos, because they're amazing. Sounds ridiculous, but they're actually amazing. So we didn't eat any of the food, but there were drinks, and so we got some drinks and found a group of people to sit with, and I met some really nice people. There's Rachel I was talking to, and she's a new designer, and so it was really nice to like meet people and be able to actually talk to them, like sit down and knit and relax and, you know, have a drink and talk to people, because you don't really get to do that if you're working a booth with the marketplace. Kind of, but conversations are quite limited to how busy it is. So anyway, I had a really, I thought that Thursday night was probably one of my highlights. I just really enjoyed that. It was exactly what it sounds like. It was a big, giant knit night, and there were so many people there, and yeah, I just loved. I just met so many people, and it was so fun. Not quite enough chairs, but that's okay. Sam and I were like sitting on the floor for a little while. It was carpeted, and there was like this little cubby. We were like, let's just go sit over there. Anyways, so yeah, on Friday, then we set up. My mom, actually Georgia, took the day because she really wanted to come to Knit City. I don't think she's ever been, aside from when she was a baby and like little, she's never really been to Knit City. And I don't know, I think it's important to see, because Georgia kind of sees what I do at home, but she doesn't really see like what I do outside when I'm, you know, actually working, and like talking to people and have the booth or things like that. So she really wanted to come on the weekend, but I kind of felt it would be too busy, and like Knit City's not really Justin's thing, so I knew that he wouldn't really want to take her on the Saturday or the Sunday. But my mom was coming on the Friday to help us set up, so Georgia was staying over at her house on the Thursday night anyways. So I was like, well, why don't you know, Georgia can just skip school and she can come like help us set up. So she came and helped us set up, which was really cute. And she was like, I haven't seen her that excited about anything. she as soon as she saw me and Katie, like she was just so excited. Oh yeah, and Katie, she flew in Friday morning from Hawaii. She said, you know, earlier when we were talking about whether she was actually going to come to Knit City or not, she was like, oh, is it even worth it? Like, the plane tickets are so expensive. And it's like, no, like, I need you there. So she was able to come out for the weekend by herself, so she didn't have any kids. So that was really nice too. She came early in the morning on Friday, and so we got to spend like Friday morning together. And then set up on Friday, and Mom came with Georgia, and she was just, yeah, she was ecstatic. She was helping put together mannequins. Jody Miller at the Grocery Girls, she was selling some of her project bags at the Yarn Ink booth, which was kind of across from us. So when we were sitting up, she was there with Tracy, dropping off some of the bags and like helping Alicia of Yarn Ink set up that stuff. And so they came over and they got to meet Georgia, and that was really nice because they knew from the podcast before like who she was, and Tracy has her own Georgia. And so when they left, I said, oh, you know, Georgia, like she has a daughter named Georgia too. And she's, yeah, Mom, I know, like you tell me that all the time. Sorry. Yeah, so that was set up. Friday night, what did we do Friday night? Oh yeah, I didn't go to the lecture. I don't know, I just didn't feel it this year. I felt like I've gone to the past two, and I did really enjoy it, but I don't really know like who Arnie and Carlos are, for one thing. So there was that. And also, I just feel kind of rushed, like if there's setup and then there's the lecture kind of right after. It just felt like there wasn't enough time in between. I know last year I was really rushed and like had to go grab something to eat and then like rush over there, and it was kind of this like, it just wasn't relaxing, so I just didn't want to do that. Plus Katie was here, and like she's not very into it, and nobody I knew really was going either, so I'm sure it was great. I mean, the lecture the past 2 years previously were really good and really fun. So I'm sure the lecture was awesome. They actually were able to move it to a bigger venue, which was nice. I just didn't do it this year. Maybe next year again. So we ended up, what did we do on Friday night? Oh, we went to Gastown with a bunch of people. We went with Sam and I. Katie stayed at the hotel because she has her own friends in Vancouver. That's where, that's where she lived before moving to Hawaii. So she had some of her friends come over to the hotel room, and they hung out there. And then I went out with Sam and from Hand Me My Knitting, and Alicia from Yarn Ink, and Bree, who was helping at the Vivid booth, and then Julia, who does Vivid Yarns, and Jody and Tracy from Grocery Girls, and who else? There was a bunch of people that I didn't know there as well. Oh, there was Max Sear. He's the designer who did the Once in Floral sweater. which is definitely on my to knit list. It was a really nice dinner. Like, I've only been to a few restaurants as fancy as that one. We went to the Water Street Cafe right in Gastown, like across from the Steam Clock. Very, very fancy restaurant. And I've been to restaurants that are that fancy before, but I've never knit in a restaurant that fancy before, so that was something else. But it was a large group of people, so it was about 13 people, I think, and it was one long kind of rectangular table. So I didn't really get a chance to talk to half of the people because we were on opposite ends of the table, but that's just how it works sometimes. So what we did, when we left the restaurant, there was the steam clock, and there were pretty lights everywhere, and it was just a very lovely evening. And across the street, there was this guy who was just like sitting on a bench with a microphone, busking, and so he was just like singing songs and whatever. So that was just really nice to, kind of stand on the corner and like chat to everyone and just hang out in this lovely little part of Vancouver. Yeah, that was Friday. And then there was the market. Saturday and Sunday. Saturday especially was absolutely bananas. I personally have never been that busy on a Saturday before. And I just want to say that the amount of people that came to talk to me and show me the things that they made and tell me that they watched the podcast and get me to autograph their books, and to everyone who purchased a book or even whether or not you purchased one, like even just coming into the booth and checking us out, it was really amazing. I met so many great people and got to see like people making the things from my patterns, and that's just always the best part for me, is seeing what other people do with my patterns. Yeah, so that was really cool. I didn't take any pictures. I took 2 pictures, I think, because I never take any pictures, but they were just lots of amazing people that I met, and thank you to everyone who came by. We did release a new book, and Knit City was its debut. They thankfully got here in time because we were a little bit worried about that. But it's the Rainforest Knits book, if you're curious. We actually just posted what came home with us is now on the website of the books. I haven't gone through, I still have to go through everything else and see kind of what we have and post the rest of that on the website. Yeah, and again, my mom and my aunt came, and my mom thought it was really cool to see, like, she said to like see me in my element and just talking to everyone, and she thought that was cool because she doesn't really get to see that either. It's just really neat. It's such an awesome experience for me personally to see people in real life, because it's like everything I do is on Instagram or YouTube or Ravelry, which is great, and like you do get to meet people and have a rapport with people and talk back and forth, but to actually like meet people in real life and see their faces and give the hugs and take the pictures and like actually talk to people, that's what Knit City is about to me. And I know I said that the Thursday night was my favorite, but no, the Saturday at the market was my favorite, getting to talk to everyone. And I didn't get a chance to leave the booth until about 2 in the afternoon. I went for our afternoon coffee run. Luckily, we were literally like right beside the bathrooms, which was great. I want to be there again, because aside from just popping into the washroom, you know, every once in a while when I had to, I didn't leave the booth at all until like 2. Yeah, we had to send my mom out to go and get us lunch before she left, because Katie couldn't leave either, because I was talking to people and she was doing all the cash, and I was like, well, we can't do anything. Sunday at the market was really great too. It was much slower, like it was steadier. Well, it was steady, but slower than Saturday. So I did actually get a chance to go and walk around a little bit. I still didn't see everything because I kind of would go in little spurts. So I'm sorry, Katie said that people were looking for me on Sunday. So I'm really sorry that if I was not there when you came to see me, because I was shopping myself, wandering around. But yeah, even I didn't even see, I'd say I saw maybe 60% of the booths. And even that, like, I count like walking by kind of as seeing a booth. Like I didn't get to go into every booth. Not by a long shot. Yeah, and then on Sunday, it ended at 3, which was really nice. I think they added some time onto Saturday and then took away a couple hours on the Sunday afternoon, which was nice because Sunday afternoon is usually just really dead. So it was good to, I think it ended at 3, and then we took down, you know, we could take everything down. And I think I was like packed up at the hotel. The car got packed up and I was home by about 7 o'clock, which I live about an hour away. So it wasn't, you know, it wasn't bad at all. And that was packing up and then going back to the hotel and like packing my stuff up and then driving the car over, loading the car up, and then I left. And Katie actually stayed. Her flight home didn't leave until Monday, like Monday at 5 or something. So she actually got to have a hotel room all to herself for a night. Actually, I think my brother came to visit her on a Sunday night. Anyways, and that was Knit City. That was kind of it in a nutshell. Yeah. It was the best one. I guess I've been rambling for about half an hour and I've really only shown you one thing. So I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I got at Knit City, and I'm going to be fully transparent here, and I purchased about half of the stuff and I was given about half the stuff. So I didn't pay for everything here. Some of it was given to me for samples and the whatnot, and to use and to show and to just to have, which was super generous and amazing, and I'll kind of go through that as we get it. I'm gonna start with the non-knitting stuff. I'm gonna start with non-knitting stuff because I did go to Knit City with the intention of buying 3 specific things, and I got all 3 of them. So I'm gonna start with this. This is a little tin, and inside are watercolor paints, and these are paints that are handmade by Caitlin French, using all natural pigments. So she sells, like, you can take these guys out, they just have little magnets on the back, and so you get to pick your palette and like pop them in, and you just buy these little guys individually. So I got one of 6, a little pack of 6. Katie got a pack of 6, and yeah. So I had a really hard time picking my colors because I actually haven't painted in a really long time. But I feel like I usually take December kind of off of designing. So I don't know, I think maybe that's what I'll try doing some more of in December. So I got some blues and greens and like a little bit of rusty things. Hopefully those were the right colors. I know where to get them if, you know, you just kind of buy the little things individually, so I can always add to my collection as I see fit if I'm missing things. Another thing that I was very excited about was this guy. And this is a cross stitch kit by Junebug and Darlin. And so it has everything in there. And this is from, I got it from the Starlight Knitting Society booth. Hopefully you can still hear me with that thing in front of me. But I'm very excited to start this as well. It just has some beautiful little flowers. And just a fun little art project that's not knitting. I feel like this will definitely be like my winter sit down and watch TV at the end of the day kind of craft. And I really wanted to open it, but I'm going to wait. I'm gonna wait to open it until I'm ready to start it. I think that was the deal I made with myself. And then the third thing that I went there for was this. And this is a mug, and I got it from I can't remember who makes them, but it was at the booth with Fiddly Dye Works and Lone Larch Designs. And I'm not sure if it's one of them who makes them. But it's just a handmade mug with some fish on it. And this is actually for Justin. It was gonna be for Christmas, but I was too excited. So I gave it to him when I got home. Now, if you are sensitive to words or have little eyes, I won't say it, but I'm gonna show you the inside. And I had told Justin about these mugs when I was at, where was it? At Fibers West in Cloverdale, and I told him about it, and he thought they were hilarious. Like, there's a bunch of different ones. They're all unique. And so I knew I wanted to get him one of these. And I found this. I wasn't really gonna get him one, but then I saw this one, and he fishes, like he goes fishing with his dad and his brother and stuff. So it was too perfect. I had to. So I gave it to him on Sunday night, and he's just like looking at it. He's like, oh yeah, like these really nice like fish. What kind of fish are these? And then he was trying to like think about it, and then he kind of looks at it, and then he looks inside, and he died. He thought it was so hilarious. And I think it's funny too. So this is now his dad cup. He has his old mug. I'm very glad that that went over well. I knew that it would. I already knew that he liked it, but yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna start with, okay, yeah, I'll start here. Speaking of Justin, he wants a sweater. Which is no surprise. He wants me to make matching sweaters for him and Georgia, which is super cute. I made him like a Henley kind of thing last year, and he wears it all the time. Like, if Justin ever wants a sweater, I will make it for him because he wears them. Like, he wears them all the time. The gray one that I made him last winter, he wore all last winter. The first sweater I ever made was for him. And he wore it for 2 years straight, and he would still be wearing it if it still fit him, you know, properly. But he just grew. He didn't get bigger. His shoulders got really big, so it just doesn't fit in the shoulders anymore. But yeah, he just wears them all the time. I've made him 3 sweaters so far, and he wears every single, well, aside from the first one, he wears the other 2 still all the time. So he wanted another sweater, which is fine, except he wants it to be this color that I don't think exists. He has this specific color in his brain, and he told me to like look for it at Knit City, but I just couldn't find exactly kind of what he was talking about. So what I did is I got this because he wants a red like Henley kind of sweater with some white accents, like white cuffs and seams and things like that. But it's like he wants this like red orange rustic but faded, but like not, I don't know. Just this color that I don't even know. I've like gone through pages and pages. I'm like, Brooklyn Tweed, like maybe this, no. Bricks a little, maybe this, no. Like anything he just says no to, let's go. Like he didn't find anything online. So I saw this, and this is Ancient Art yarns. This is one of their new yarns. This is the Let's Go Fine. And so I made a sweater out of the Lasco, the worsted weight, and I love it. It's a really nice weight of yarn. But they didn't have this color. I'm not gonna make him a fingering weight sweater. I'm gonna make him a DK, hopefully a worsted weight sweater. But this is fingering, but I bought it mainly for the color, to see if that's what he was talking about. It's not. It's not surprising. This is a 50-gram skein, which is kind of nice, so I didn't have to buy a whole thing. And I figured if he didn't like the color, like, that's fine. I can still use this to make something. It'll be great. I'll make some mittens or something. I don't know. Maybe I need some walking to school mittens. Anyways, so that's what that was. Not entirely successful, but I told him, I think next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, I said, I just have to take you to the store. So we're gonna go to 88 Stitches, and if there's nothing there, then we'll probably go to Valley Yarn. And then if there's nothing there, I don't know, he might just have to suck it up and find something. So another thing that I got was, let's start with this. This is, let's go with this. This is Poppy Yarn and Fiber, and this is the Ishinmore Aran, and it's a 85 superwash merino and 50% nylon tweed. And so it's a tweedy, you know, kind of thicker weight, but it's very feels silky almost, like, I don't know, it feels very soft. And this is the London Fog colorway, so it's just a very nice, like, light blue. Someone just started like mowing a lawn or something, so sorry about that. I don't want to stop because I have to like get Georgia from school at some point, so sorry about that. But anyways, it just feels very lovely, and the twist is really nice. Yeah, I'm very excited about this one. This I bought to make something for myself. Yesterday I finished this hat because I walk Georgia to school every morning, and it's starting to get really cold. This morning it was definitely below freezing overnight, and it was very chilly this morning, so I was excited to have this hat. And but when during the weekend, I think on the Sunday or something, Amanda Kafka, she's the Crafty Jackalope, she was wearing this headband, and it was this like really thick band, and then it kind of had this cross like at the top kind of, and I thought that would be really good for a walking Georgia to school hat. So like on the days when I want my hair up. So I have my hair down hat, and then I need my hair up headband. So I think that's what this is gonna be. And I'll probably start that very quickly because I want it. It's getting cold, and I want something to cover my ears. Oh, I brought a basket to put things in. There we go. Okay, the other thing that I got, this, oh, I forget what booth this is from. I'll put everything down below in my show notes. But this is yarn from Union Fiber, but that they didn't have a booth there. I got it from somewhere else. What's the French name? Online store. I don't remember. Anyways, this is Union Fiber, and their Union DK, and it is 100% superwash merino, and this is the Venice Peach colorway, and it's coming out a little warm, like it's a little more muted than what it's showing as, but I was drawn to this color instantly. Like, I picked it up and brought it to the front. And I just had a skein because I was like, oh, I'll make like a hat or like a cowl or something. It kind of goes with the colors of our next book. And I've kind of decided we don't really have a plan for all of the patterns for our next book. We have the 2 sweaters that are going in, and then a couple other half ideas. But I figure if I just keep knitting things in the same color palette, then I can kind of pick and choose what ones go in the book and what just get released as patterns. But anyways, so I got this with that kind of in mind. And then as I was like at the till was facing the yarn, and it was beside this, which is the Corrode colorway. And so they were just sitting very nicely next to each other. And then so I had to go and like check it out. So Venice Peach, Corrode, and then this is, I found this guy, which is Misunderstood. And then I picked up another one of these. I don't know exactly what these will grow up to be, but they just called to me. And at first it was these three and like a kind of light gray that had some speckles in it, but I asked some opinions, and we all kind of, you know, when you ask someone for their opinion and it's like either yes, they're like, they're saying what you've already been thinking, or like just having them say, oh no, it should be this, is like either yes, they're totally right, or no, they're totally wrong. But everyone said this one, which was my original, or which was what I was thinking too. So everyone was right. If that makes any sense. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, yeah, I don't know exactly what these are going to be. Maybe some sort of shawl or something. I just thought they were very, very beautiful together. And so that was kind of my most impulsy purchase, I think. I mean, I didn't go in to Knit City with any ideas at all, but this doesn't have any plan. Shawl-ish, I think, is what's going to happen with those guys. The last thing that I purchased, was this guy. This is also from the Starlight Knitting Society. And I remember seeing these bags on their Instagram a while ago, and then I promptly forgot about them. But I'm very excited to have one. And actually Sam bought one that was gray and yellow, and then my sister also bought one that was the black and white one. So now we all have matching bags that are slightly different. This is a really nice size for shawls, I think. This will be a good like 3 skein. Maybe not quite big enough for a sweater, maybe a fingering weight sweater. But it's definitely filling in a gap in my project bag. One thing I really like, this heavy duty like gold zipper on the back, projects in there, and it is a drawstring. And I just love this coppery color, and I like that you can't really tell that this is shiny. The screen print on here is very shiny. What was I saying? I really like it. Oh yeah, it's a nice size for shawls. I have a lot of like sock bags, and then a lot of things that are good for like maybe 2 skeins. And then I have my Finch bucket bag from Stitch Mischief, which is the ultimate like perfect sweater bag. But I think this one, yeah, this one is just the right size for 3. Yeah, I had my Courage shawl in here, and it fit very nicely. So these are the next things I'm going to show you were gifts from people, and I just wanted to be upfront about that. But the first thing here is this. I don't know if you can even get this anywhere yet. The ladies who do the Ami Isu magazine from Japan, they came into my booth and they had this giant tote of yarn. And so they said, oh, like they are making this yarn, and they wanted me to try some. So I did, and I got 3 skeins of this, which is Parade Festive Summer Blend, and this is their Dublin color. And yeah, I'm not sure if this is available quite yet, but it is beautiful for whenever it is. It is a fingering weight yarn, and it is 60% wool, 20% cotton, 10% silk, and 10% linen. So I could make something really awesome, like some sort of super cool summer something with these. I don't know exactly yet, but I am very excited to try out this new yarn. Those girls are super cute. Also, it was Mary and I can't remember, there was 2 other girls as well, and I got a little pin from them, and oh, they were just super sweet ladies. So yeah, I'm very excited to start working on something with these, and see how it knits up and what it wants to become. So I'll do some swatching with that at some point and see. And then on Sunday, I went back to, because I bought my mug, this mug, Justin's mug. I bought this on Saturday. And then I went back on Sunday to like actually look at stuff. And the girls at that booth are just the sweetest. And I was a big dork. Because I don't know, that's how I am. But anyways, I was looking at the fiddly yarn, and the girl comes up, and I'm so sorry, I know both of your names, but I can't remember them right now. And I was gonna like research everyone's names that I could remember. I'm pretty sure I know what they are, but then I don't want to say the wrong name. So I'm just gonna call you Fiddly and Lone Larch. But anyways, so the girl who dyes this yarn, she saw me looking at some, and she's just like, you know, I'd really like you to pick something and try it out. So I got this, and I grabbed 2 skeins of it, and this is their superwash merino, which is 100% superwash merino. It's a worsted weight, and it's very silky and like bouncy, and I'm very excited to see how this knits up. We were chatting on Instagram afterwards, and I was just like, you know, I'm trying so hard not to wind this up because I wanted to show it on the podcast first and then wind it up. So I originally got these 2 skeins. This is the Harper colorway, which I think is a new color for her, but it's this very lovely, like, how do you even explain this color? It's kind of beige with some like peach, but it's very muted, and there's some taupe, and then there's these like black and orange kind of speckles. It's very interesting. Like right now it looks like there's even some like pink, like some very warm tones in it, but also I don't even know how to explain it. It's awesome. That's how I explain it. So I got 2 of these, and I brought them back to Katie to show her, just to say, hey, look how awesome these are. And then we talked for about 20 seconds because she got really inspired about something, and then we'd like had this flurry of like talking about an idea, and then within a minute and a half, it was a fully formed like design idea. So I went back and I was like, hey, I just talked to Katie, and she also really loves this, and we had this idea. Could I grab a couple more and we'll make this thing? And she said yes. And so I actually ended up with 4 of them, because what these are going to become is a wrap. There's like a big rectangular, I'm going to make it as big as I possibly can, a big rectangular wrap. And it's going to be quite plain. I think stockinette. Yeah, I think stockinette. If you look at the ironwood hat, there's there's kind of these panels of this, like, they look almost like arrows or something. So I think we're going to take one of those panels and just have it on one side, like just a little like thing on one side, and it's just going to be this rectangle, and it's going to be awesome. I am very excited about this, and probably as soon as I turn off the camera, I'm gonna wind up a skein so I can swatch a little bit with it. Also, while I was there, a girl from Lone Larch, again, I remember your name, I just can't think of it off the top of my head. She wanted me to grab a bag as well, and I already have a project bag from her. I got it at Fibers West last year, and I really love it. It's my blue one with some sparkly things on it. But this one is a little bit different, which is why I like it. So it has these leather handles, and really well made. Like, because it's put together with these, oh, what do you call them? They're like pressed together. I can't remember, but I really appreciate this detail where there's leather on this side too. So you know it's not gonna like pull through the fabric on this side. I think that was a very nice touch. So the leather handles, and then her little Lone Larch thing there, and some birch trees, which I'm always very into. And the outside of it is made with this like waxed canvas. So you can see on this side a little better, but like where it's been crunched, and like I just love that. It's in this very like deep green. And yeah, I really like it. And it doesn't close, which I kind of like. Because I have lots of project bags, but none that are like just open, and it stands up very nicely. Like, oh yeah, you can kind of see that. So it stands up. So I feel like this is just gonna be my bag with my current project, my like at-home project. So this is gonna be just beside my couch or on my table, probably at all times. I'm very excited about this bag, and my second Lone Larch bag. Yeah, and this green reminds me, I'm very into stationery and notebooks. And I still have it, but one of the books that I had was this leather, this like really soft leather, and it was green, and by the end of like its life as a book, it looked very used. I was gonna say destroyed, but like destroyed in the best way. Like you could see scratches and things, and like because it was so soft, and like that was just in my bag all the time. And I feel like this gives me the same feeling, and I love it. I really like it when things are used. I'm not precious with things. Like I don't know. My husband actually, he collects pocket knives, and like this specific kind of pocket knife, like an electrician's knife. And one time he found they used to do them for like, get them made and you could put your like company logo on it. So he found one that had never been used before. It was bright red, and it had this company logo on it, and it was super cool. And then he brought it to work, and it became his work one, and now it's like all beat up, and like there's dents in it and scratches in it. And he was like, well, what do you think? Like, did I ruin it by using it? And it's like, no, like, I don't know. Things are made to be used, in my opinion. I don't know, I don't think there's much that I'm precious about. I don't think I'm precious about anything. Things are supposed to be used and get used and worn and scratched and dented and all that sort of things. And then the very last thing that I got here are these guys. And this was also a gift. I had been in her booth like every time I was in that area, I would go into her booth and I would just like pet this yarn. And I don't know why I didn't just get it. She had sent, she's doing this sock swap because I'm in the middle of the indie designer sock swap. I'm in the middle of a round right now. So she actually sent a couple skeins of her yarn for that as well. And we have a plan. I'll talk more about that later. I'm not going to talk about it right now. But I think she's quite a new dyer from Calgary, somewhere in Alberta. But she sent me her yarn originally, and I was just, you know, there's some yarns and some dyers that just make yarn glow, and she knows how to do it. So every time I would go into her booth, I was instantly just like, my hand would just go to this yarn. And so I was wandering around with Sam, and I took this off the shelf and I showed her, and then I put it back. Like, I don't know why I just didn't buy it the first time. But anyways, so I put it back, and then we went to the next booth. And so she comes out and she has these in her hands, and she's like, I've noticed you come in and like get drawn to this yarn so many times. And like, we had talked, I think she came to my booth on Saturday, and we had chatted a little bit. And so she's like, I just want you to have these. And so she gave me this skein of yarn and this pom-pom. And it is a fur pom-pom. It's so fluffy. And I have a plan for this as well. And it's gonna be, I feel like everything's about hats right now. I don't know, I'm very into hats. But I've been thinking kind of about this design, and this was just the yarn that I didn't know it was supposed to be made out of. But now I know that this is the yarn that it's supposed to be made out of. So I'm gonna wind that up and do some swatches and make this into a beautiful, beautiful copper hat. And like, it just, you can't see it, but it glows. Like, no, it's not even showing up the right color. It's copper. It's copper. That's exactly what it is, and it glows like copper glows. So that's it. That's all the stuff that I got. That's all the things that I did. Yeah, I just want to say again, thank you to everyone who let me try out some of their stuff and visited with me and talked to me and took pictures with me. And if you have a picture with me, tag me on Instagram, because I literally took pictures with 2 people. I don't even think I took a picture with Katie, aside from on the day that we set up. I definitely didn't take any pictures with Sam or like any of the people that I was hanging out with the entire weekend. Whoops. Yeah. So, and yeah, it was really nice to talk to everyone. It was really nice to see everyone again and talk to people that I haven't seen in a year and meet new people. And Knit City is always just the best. If you ever get the chance, if you weren't able to come this year, if you do ever get the chance to come, it's really fun. And I was downstairs knitting with some people that I didn't really know very well one day, and it's true. Like, you can go there by yourself and it's not weird. Like, I don't know, it's just one of those places. I was talking about this, if you watch my video from 2 years ago, like, that Knit City was the Knit City that I really felt like a part of the community, because, I don't know, you're all there and you all have this common interest, and you can sit down at the lobby of the atrium by yourself, not knowing anyone, knowing that someone will come and sit with you and knit with you, and everything will be cool, and you'll just make a new friend. Like, my hair's doing really random things. And that's what Knit City is. Like, you can just be friends with somebody. It sounds super cheesy, and you don't think it's a real thing, but I mean, that was my experience at the first lecture I went to. I was very used to doing everything with Katie because she is my business partner, and like, we started Pip and Pin together, and we've just always done everything together. That she didn't come to the Stephen West lecture, and so I had an extra ticket, and I was waiting for somebody I didn't know. I just put a thing up on Instagram and said, hey, like, come and get this ticket, I have it, I'll wait for you. And so I was outside of the lecture waiting for this girl to come, and there's just a lineup of knitters all the way up and down. And like, that's where I met Jody and Tracy, and that's where I met so many people, because I was just standing there. Like, the line was moving and I was there, and everyone was just talking to me, like, in the lineup. And it was so nice, because that was the first time I like felt okay, kind of, like being by myself, like not doing something with somebody, or, you know, I felt very secure and like, hey, I can just be here and it'll be okay. If you know what I mean. I don't know. Anyways, now I feel very great and very grateful. I feel very grateful for everyone who came to visit me and talk to me and support us, and because it's just me and Katie. And I don't know, grateful for just being able to experience that. And yeah, it's a really cool thing. So if you ever get a chance to come to Knit City, or go to, I don't know what yarn festivals are like anywhere else, but I'm sure they're all the same kind of vibe. Then go to one, even if you don't know anyone who knits. Like, just go by yourself. It was really cool. Oh my goodness, I've been talking for an hour. Yeah, good thing that I didn't make this a regular episode. Because I was thinking like, oh, maybe I'll just talk about Knit City for a little while, and then talk about my knitting, and then talk about the things that I got. But I'm very glad that I didn't do that now. Yeah, so I hope, I think I have finished a ton of stuff. So I'll probably be filming a regular episode, maybe tomorrow or at the end of the week. Yeah, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna wind some yarn and start some projects, because I finished all my big things before Knit City. So I only have 2 things on my needles right now. It's very exciting. So now I get to cast on some more things and not feel the slightest bit guilty about it. Anyways, it was lovely seeing you. Thank you so much for joining me and supporting me. And yeah, our book, if you didn't get a chance to see it, our book is now on our website. You can buy the digital copy from our website as well, or the digital copy is available on Ravelry, as are the 3 patterns. I'll see you in a couple days, I hope, and I have lots of other fun things that I'm gonna start soon. All right, see you at Knit City 2020. Bye.